Awesome. Okay, we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zero Sum Game. It is a podcast where we interview business owners and operators in the e-commerce and specifically social commerce industries. Um, my name is Bora. I'm one of the co-hosts of the podcast. The other co-host is Sohan, who is not here today, obviously. We have Jasper instead. I'm also the co-founder of Reacher, which is a top TikTok shop app across the US and UK. We help brands selling products on TikTok shop find and work with the top creators on the platform, top affiliates on the platform. We've driven $500 million of TikTok shop creator collaboration revenue. And I'm here with Jasper Nitzel, who is the co-founder of, so that's your last name, right?
Knittel, almost.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Knitzel.
I'm gonna try your last name though. So
Yeah, you can't say my last name. He's a co-founder of Social Army, which is one of the top, if not the top, creator communities on the platform. And I'll let you do a proper introduction for yourself.
Of course, thank you. I mean, I love the podcast. I want to say that I've seen some episodes. I love what you guys are doing. I think the ones I'm very sad I cannot be in the studio though. I saw the studio once. I was like, oh, I really want to. Where is it in San Francisco?
So we actually rent out studios. That one you're talking about probably is the one we did in LA. We've done a couple in.
That was very cool.
Yeah.
I thought I was surprised, and I'm normally not quickly surprised about your quality of work, and then I saw it was another Bora overdid himself, so that was cool. No, I can do a quick intro. So, hello everyone. My name is Jasper. I'm one of the co-founders of Social Army and some other companies that we can go into in a bit. Been in the space for quite a bit of time now. Bora, when did we start? We started kind of together.
Yeah, like 2023, or was it like more early?
Yeah, so then we started looking at the space. I think March we officially launched Social Army. Has been a crazy journey. I would say we're pretty early. We were pretty early. Now the space is blowing up, but mainly on the creator side, where I think a lot of the other people we see here are more on the brand side. We have a first focus on creators, and we go from there. We connect the brands, of course, but we are mainly focused on creators, building tools, building communities, building things for them that help them grow in the space itself. Now we have been switching focus a little bit to more the tool side, but I mean, we have been in the space for a longer time. We haven't really seen it evolve over the last almost 2 years now, which is very cool. So I'm very excited to be here today and to talk about everything we have to talk about.
Yeah. No, that's a great introduction. You are one of the OGs that have been here since the very beginning. I know your early Twitter days when we were seeing live Twitter. I don't even know what they call them, Twitter sessions. We were like
Twitter Spaces. No, those were great.
Twitter Spaces with like Zane and other agency owners and brands and creators. Everybody like Kaylee was on there all the time, dropping a bunch of knowledge, and it's come a long way. I do want to, because I actually don't personally know your previous businesses or experience you have that led you into TikTok Shop. So actually, I want to like go into that. Like, what did you do before Social Army and TikTok Shop?
It's a good question. No, so I started very early ecom. So I started with ecom, started like very literally from my like room at home, just doing some e-commerce, started with some dropshipping, but that very quickly, that was not really my business, I would say. I liked it, but the business itself is not really long term, and it's a good way to learn, but not a long term thing. Started that, was working with a group of guys all kind of around my age. So there were like 4 or 5 people. It was a very hustle time, let's say 3-4 years in which we did that. Started ecom, built some brands from there, then took that kind of knowledge and went more into the blockchain space, where I moved to Abu Dhabi to work on a very big project there. Really learned community building, where I would say blockchain, now crypto is of course a little bit more Wild West and like back then as well, which also made me eventually also quit kind of that space. But it's a very interesting space to be in because marketing there is kind of on steroids, because there's so much money going on, so many things moving very quickly. The community building, the marketing, the brand building, and kind of building a hype is something that I literally have seen from crypto kind of being copied almost to the social commerce TikTok Shop space as well, with all the prize campaigns, giving away Lamborghinis, giving away this, where TikTok Shop is a little bit more real than crypto. Crypto is also a lot of scams and everything. But I learned a lot. Learned a lot of community there. Learned a lot of like Discords. We hosted communities with like a few 100,000 people in there, and we did a lot of the gamification and everything. So did that for about 1.5 years. Went very well, but like I said, Wild West, the market, the kind of external factors were always there, which kind of made doing business pretty hard. And then TikTok Shop came with the announcement that they were launching in the US. I always still had kind of my side eye on the ecom world because I started there. And when I saw that announcement, I was also very early with like TikTok ads, like all the way when we were still building our brands. Then TikTok ads came out the first time, and then we kind of started running those, which was also very cool. So I knew when TikTok was launching TikTok Shop, it was probably going to be big. So I kept an eye on it. However, I was still back in Abu Dhabi, Europe, so I couldn't really get started directly. I just kept an eye on it, and like 2-3 months in, it was for me pretty clear, like, okay, I have to do something here. So we started running a few different kind of tests, and we had the kind of experience from the community side, and we saw there was a big gap in the space because I was doing research in the space and kind of seeing where I could go. There was not a good place for creators to go to really learn. There were a few communities that were pretty niche, focused on more, let's say, the younger audience, but I saw very quickly on TikTok there's an older audience that wants also a community, a space where they can kind of talk to people and connect. So I started reaching out to people in the space that were doing well, creators that were doing well, and very quickly I messaged, I think, like literally 200-300 creators that were doing well in that moment. But I came with Bryce, and Bryce was immediately perfect fit. The guy had the best kind of, how do you say, way of talking, motivating. Everything was clicking. His story was perfectly, like his story when I met him the first time, he still was working at his car dealership. He did around 60K, I think, on TikTok Shop commissions in like a few, like very short time. But he was not sure. Like he made his money, but it was very unreal for him. He didn't want to quit. And I was like, fine, we can just discuss. We can see where we can go. He built a tech page before, so he kind of knew social media as well. And I explained him the plan of what if we can build a community where people can come together. Me and Stan, my business partner, we can do the back end. So you don't have to think about anything like setup, marketing. Like we take the whole back end. You do what you're good at, is motivating people, teaching people, and kind of going out there and being the person you are yourself. So don't change yourself, just be yourself. And that was kind of the golden mix to make this work. So we started in like, I think 2 weeks, we had like 600 people in the community. We wanted to make something which was really accessible. So back in the days, or when we started this, I would say most of the courses, make money online, a lot of them were expensive, right? Like pay 2K, 3K, 4K, 5K to learn how to like start an agency or how to do this or how to make money online. And what we saw is like in America, this audience that we wanted to target and the general audience of TikTok Shop is not only that. There's also a lot of stay-at-home moms and people that maybe don't have the money right now or something. So we wanted to make something that would fit the creator. And later we also found out it fitted the brand also very well and also fitted us well. So it was kind of a perfect mix of the three. So we made it, I think in the beginning, $1 a day. So $7 a week to start. So kind of almost nothing. We had a full course, we started. And then from there it kind of blew up very quickly. Did well. Then the first brands came in. So we were at like 2,000 members. The first brands came in. Goalie was one of our first brands that we started working with. Did very well with them. A lot of course, like literally when it launched on TikTok Shop, we started working with them. Very cool experience there. Did a lot of like good things together with them. And then from there we just kept growing up till now. So that's like 1.5 years ago. Did a lot of things in the meantime. So we also figured like at the peak we had almost 4,500 members kind of in the community, which of course is a lot. Like on a membership that you want to give the best to, but also having so many members in the community is very hard to keep giving good value to, because they are all in there asking questions, having a team. We hired so many people for the community, but it was still very hard to do. So from there we also understood, okay, we have to build some things that can support a bigger crowd. So we launched a no-code app to kind of support them on small things like brand partnerships, giving it in a more clear way to them, so they had an app on their phone. And then from there, we started also seeing there's more opportunity in this space also on the tooling side. So that's kind of where we're at right now, where we have Social Army. We have another community called Live Academy, which is a live streaming community. And then we have an application or platform where we give tooling to creators. So really, from our experience from the last 1.5 years or 2 years, and from building Social Army and kind of having a no-code app with Social Army, we very quickly figured out, okay, showing, for example, viral videos to creators is a very good thing that we started doing very early on, and everybody loved it. Same as our like partnership with the brands, showing this to creators in a good way. They loved it very early on, so we built it all into kind of an web, like an app for iOS right now, and we're going to go to other platforms as well, like Android and web app properly.
So that's where we're at right now. Fully on the creator side, supporting brands with from creator level. So we more owning the creator relationship more, and then being able to kind of translate that towards a brand, instead of the other way around. So being more working from the brand and then trying to reach out to creators. Of course, because we have this, I think what for us is very nice is we can work together with everybody in the space. So we don't really have a lot of competition. Of course, there's other communities, but it's not really competition, I would say. And then you have the other agencies that own brands. We can work together with them because there's like a mutual beneficial partnership. So I think in that sense, I really like this space. I like not having to all the time like think, oh, there's competition, like, oh, we have to be better than this person. No, it's just like, okay, how can we grow together? The whole space is growing. How can we make it better overall? I'm sure there's going to be a lot of big players entering the space. I like to build with this core group that we have here. Like, I mean, being on this call with you is very cool, but just having the core group of people that started, all the people that are doing well now, built with them together, and then, yeah, there's enough room for sure.
Yeah, I like that. Thank you for giving all that context. It's a very diplomatic and optimistic way of looking at business and the market in general. I really
Yeah, I
like.
love it. Yeah, no, I think like one thing that made TikTok Shop very cool is that very early on I saw like everybody has to win, or there's and this is one of the only businesses, there's of course a lot, but this is the one where that kind of forces it, where everybody will win. Because if the creator does well with a brand that we kind of gave to them, the brand will also do well, because if the creator does well, there's a commission performance model, right? So if the creator does well, that means that they also earned a lot of money for the brand. If we made sure that's all kind of set up well and we help the creator as well, we sometimes are kind of in between and we also get a cut. But and then the brand does well, the creator, and we also do well. If we do well, the other two also do well. There's not a like zero sum game doesn't make effect or no. It's hard.
The name of the podcast.
No, yeah, no, but no, you don't take away from other people. And you don't take away from another business that you work with, which I like. So I think that that's very positive about this industry.
Yeah, no, I like that mindset, definitely. The name of the podcast, Zero Sum Game, is kind of like a, it's just to be a little bit edgy, I would say,
I was trying to
for
put
fun.
it in, but it was hard.
Yeah. Okay, there's a lot to unpack there. I want to get started with, in the early days of Social Army, you said that obviously you had a lot of knowledge and community building experience from crypto, which is very interesting. We'd love to get into that one-on-one later, but
Yeah,
for the audience here, they care about TikTok Shop, so we'll focus on TikTok Shop.
yeah.
You went out, and correct me if I'm wrong, you went out and you tried to build this creator community yourself in the early days, just messaging a ton of creators on TikTok Shop and just getting them into a community that became Social Army. How did you?
No,
No.
we messaged a lot of creators to find the people that we could work with to grow the community. So and there Bryce came out of there, and then also the rest of the coaches that you have seen, like the Kayleys and everybody else, came from kind of those connections that eventually got formed. But it was more messaging to find the first partner to work with to kind of build the initial funding.
Interesting. Okay, so your initial message was to find your creator coaches or the people that would be managing the creator community, and you figured that this would be a creator themselves since they know how to make content and sell on TikTok Shop, right?
100%. And for me, there was a very clear focus. I didn't want to create something where the person doing it was not doing the thing itself. And there has been along the road, like it's always a hard thing to really do, but I always saw in the ecom game and okay, dropship course, very cool, make this amount of money. And then they were not really doing it themselves, and they were just making all their money on the course. And I think that's something I kind of hated to see. And when I was thinking, hey, it makes the most sense to build a community course right now, I really didn't want to stay away from that model. So what I wanted to do is find someone that could still do their own craft and do their own thing. And because we are kind of the back end and we build this together, where that person doesn't have to manage all the back end work, which is a lot of like time, can just be the face and be there, but the whole backend is kind of being taken care of, by which that person can do and what they're good at, and therefore also teach it better to the rest of the community and kind of make the perfect mix there.
I see. So what exactly is the split? Because I know you have Bryce as a coach, Kaylee's a coach. I know you have a bunch of other coaches in the community. What exactly are they doing? Like, are they also recruiting people? Are they coming up with all the content of the course? And then what are you and Stan doing on the back end? Because I know you guys are more like operational.
Yeah, so the model changed over time, right? So I would say like I can talk about the beginning of Social Army and then kind of also about now a little bit. So in the beginning, Bryce was really content, being the face, making the course, the content, the marketing content, and kind of doing TikTok Shop itself, and then also being in the community to kind of help people with classes and community lives and everything else. Us in the back end running the kind of operations of the marketing, so kind of guiding, okay, what can you do? Make a YouTube video about this topic. Oh, we see this is a pain point that has come up. How can we jump on this? Building the whole kind of community on the operational level. So setting up the Discord, making sure we have moderators, eventually hiring the people, managing the finances, just the whole kind of business operation, which is, of course, takes a lot of time, but you can never miss the missing piece of course, the person that kind of steps forward. And from there, I think because we just created such a nice environment, people started coming to us. And Bryce is also a person that attracts people very well. And of course, like we also try to always do that. So then Kaylee was a person that I think joined the second month of Social Army, didn't do anything, posted a post, and I never forget this, posted a post first, I think in the Discord, like very active, like immediately, Kaylee's energy, always everywhere talking, blah, blah, blah. She came in and just started talking. So immediately everybody kind of got to know her. Didn't do any, the first month I think she did almost nothing. Second month she did like $3,000 in commission. And then she started, like I also had a call with her just to chat, and it was like very immediately also a friendship. And from there, more and more of those people came, and they just naturally became coaches, and we gave them, of course, more incentives and also more to kind of join in. So there was always a win-win situation, the same as I just explained with TikTok Shop, we try to recreate. And from there, it just kept growing. And I think for us, what we always try to do, and which is something that I like also, for example, with you and everybody else, like really doing it, like also like becoming friends and everything with everybody, not only business. And I think that's why you can also build something like this. And everybody, I have to say, this industry is good, so people generally make good money, the affiliates, and then so therefore it's also you can build partnerships in a very nice way. And we did it always, and I think from there we that was enabled us to grow very quickly without us being TikTok Shop affiliates ourselves. And that grew. Of course, some people kind of dropped off in a certain amount of time because they wanted to focus more on TikTok or do something else, which is all fine. And now we have more of a friendship relationship, and then sometimes there's a touch point in which we can kind of work together. For example, now we have the app live, and then they promote the app, and then they have some incentives there. So it's kind of a way how we can work together with them, which is still very cool. And they give us feedback on the app, and then we give them like a brand deal if we see it. Like it's always kind of just helping each other out, like good business relationship.
Yeah, just becoming friends in general. I mean, that's what I recommend to all the brands that want to build a creator community too. I just say like be friends with the creators that are in your community, like actually care about them as people. And it's good to hear you say that, to kind of, as like literally the biggest creator community, the most successful one, saying that as well validates what I've been telling people. So I'm not just blowing smoke. So I'm curious, like how you said the model has changed from the beginning of Social Army to today, which is, a few years. I'm curious, like what specifically changed about the model or the business, I guess, and like how is it today?
Yeah, so I think the business stayed the same. The model of Social Army stayed the same. We got another Live Academy kind of got birthed out of Social Army as well, and now it's kind of also fully on its own itself. Same kind of relationship, right? So two guys that were very good at live streaming. They wanted to set something up themselves. We had some chats. They wanted to still do it themselves, which is fine. We're just helping them, and then eventually they came back like, "Hey, can we not do something together?" Which we then did, which was again very cool. And then from there, like because we were doing Social Army and we saw, okay, teaching people on such a big scale is pretty hard, especially if we charge like $50-$40 a month. So then we also saw, okay, if we can build tools that really benefit creators on like their way of working, because we really understand the workflow of a creator. We have worked with them for a long time. So how can we build something that benefits them on a workflow level, build those relationships with them again, but then on more of a tooling level. So that's kind of what we're doing now with the app called SoCo, where we build out tools for them that they can use. And then same, like we build out the brand relationships kind of on the platform as well, where the creators can work together with them. But really having the creators be on the platform. And we have had a lot of chats on this, of course, right? So I think you have to choose one. You cannot do both at the same time, choosing the brands and the creators. I think it's either indeed you manage the creators or you kind of nurture them, and then the brands can come into that mix of you have the creator attention, they are with you, then brands want to come in and give deals to your creators and you can kind of facilitate them to the creators. Or you are on the brand side and you kind of are going to reach out to the creators and build the relationship on that side, which is, I think it's both a very, very interesting model because TikTok Shop kind of enables that. But yeah, that's the model we have right now. So we still have the communities, but then also we have the platform, which is more the tooling, which is of course, yeah, I don't have to explain you, but tech is more scalable on number level. Once you build it out, it can facilitate. If it has 200 or 2000, most of the time it doesn't make a big difference. Where with a community or something else, it makes a very big difference. And yeah, like we still have the community, but growing it to like first we wanted to grow to 10, like 100,000 people, which is just a very hard model to run. Like 100,000 people in a community, it's a very hard community to run. That's something we figured out. We thought very big, of course, and we tried, but I think there also with feedback and with everything we got, we just realized, okay, yeah, growing it way bigger doesn't benefit the creator, and we wanted to make sure we always put them first, which we try to do again.
How big? You said your community right now is 4.5K people. How big was it before, and like what number did you find to be like the ideal number? Because I know that there's like some creator communities out there for like the bigger brands on TikTok Shop that have tens of thousands of creators, but only like 500 or 1,000 are active. Like what is that like?
Yeah, the hard thing there, like we had a paid community, right? So I mean, there's a very big difference between being free and being paid. Free, okay, some people are in there, some people join once, they never come back. I think that's usually on the brand side, is if they're in there for free and they're in 50 other ones for free, it's very hard to, why would they stay with you? Okay, you do a lot of different things. Yes, some can do it, but it will always be attached to their potential to earn money. If they think they can earn money with you, they will stay. If not, it's very hard to keep them. Yeah, you can have some friendships, but you can never have 1,000 friends, right? You can maybe, but it will be hard. I didn't know you had at one point, like you were messaging 1,000 people at the same time. But I mean, that is one thing. For us, no, 4.5K was the top, like on paid members. So I think we noticed around 3, 4, 5K, then it becomes very hard to still do it. You can split them up and start doing a lot of different things. You can still run it, but you also want to keep the feeling and the culture alive. I would see it the same as you're growing a business. Like if you have 5 people, okay, you have your own culture because you were one of the 5, which is 20%. If you have 2,000 people, now you really have to make sure your culture stays intact, which is kind of similar when you have a community. So I mean, it's a different game you play at that point, which is still doable, but for us, scaling it way further didn't really make a lot of sense. And I think same for brands, like numbers in a community, I don't think that should be the main metric. It should be indeed active users or another one, but not numbers you have in the community, because numbers are very nice, but if people join and don't do anything, it's worth nothing, right? You can better have 200 people that are very active than 2,000 that never are joining back, and you got them in because you push them or you give them an incentive to join, but then afterwards nothing happens. It's hard.
Yeah, so let's talk on that point a little bit since you brought it up. Like I know one big way you guys monetize is not only through the paid community, but also through brand partnerships to your community, since all the creators know like what they're doing and they're getting trained and everything. I know a lot of brands, like you guys work with a lot of the top brands on TikTok Shop all the time, and you guys drive results for them. But then I also know that there's a very big initiative from a majority of these brands on TikTok Shop to build their own like core creator community, right? I'm sure you guys know that as well.
Sure.
Now, I guess the main difference there is that their creator community is free, and the creators that are in their creator community are also probably in a bunch of other ones, like similar brand ones, versus yours is paid and yours there's a lot of friendship and value there. What do you recommend, and what do you see happening for these brands that have the free community and trying to build up that community? What works and what doesn't work, and what do you recommend?
Very good question. I think it's changed over time. So I think about 8 months ago, brands started to build their own communities. Goalie being one of the first ones, and a few other ones came. We were also like with a few, we even helped them kind of build it out. But very quickly, it became oversaturated. So indeed, every brand thought, oh, I need to do the same thing, and everybody just did the same thing. So there is, even though if you own the brand, you really want to believe your brand is way more special than any other brand, but eventually for a creator, it's kind of all the same. Yes, there are some brands that give more, you've earned more on them, or they treat you better, very important. But still, if the creator doesn't make money with you, it's very hard to keep them. So I think one is numbers don't matter. I think that's one. I think 2, do something that is exciting for creators. So you need to gamify it in some way, make it if you really want to build a creator community like very close with you, I would say gamify in some way, really build those relationship with those top creators. So if you see creators be very active, if you see creators do well, don't just have them in the community, but really build also one-on-one relationship with them. And then in the community, they will also be more active. Maybe make them even like a community manager or like a coach inside of your community. I think that's an important one. I would say something that has been coming up more and more. I've always been kind of yes, no on like the retainer level, but now I've been seeing it like in the last few months. It's just something that it works. So creators are getting paid by brands to do stuff. Creators are there eventually, it's their job. They want to make money. If you incentivize them in a good way, which makes sense for your brand, of course, it works and you can build better relationship with those creators. Be careful. There's a lot of also like you can pay very quickly like way too much or to the wrong people. So it's not an easy game. But it's a game like if you understand it, you can build very close relationship with those brands. And I see kind of in the future, as long as AI doesn't mess everything up, I see those relationships between brands and creators getting way stronger than before. So the first 2 years of TikTok, everybody was just shooting with a shotgun, like trying to post every brand and whatever. I think very quickly, it is already happening. I'm seeing this a lot more. The creators that have a relationship with the brands, they win. So QVC, Shark Ninja, the other big brands, the creators that are doing well for them, they are doing well, of course, because they're very good creators, but what they have as an extra benefit, they build this relationship with those brands, and they know the first when products are coming out. They have the good relationship, so indeed, like maybe retainers and things are also in there, but they can also get more GMV max spend on their videos, or they get the first spend because nobody else has the product yet, or like there's these benefits that you get from it that I think will only grow. So I think, and that's talking from the creator side, but that's also from the brand side, right? So building like a score group, and it doesn't have to be like 500 creators. It can literally be 5, 10, 20, maybe 30 creators that sometimes you have them on a retainer, sometimes you build like something else with them. I think that is something that I've seen growing, and I think it just makes sense if you look in the future of the space. You want to tie kind of people to your brand more closely over time.
Yeah, no, it totally makes sense. I know you guys are like diving deeper into the retainer space, and I do see it working across other brands as well as a model in general. I think there's definitely nuances that you guys probably know that other brands don't know. Like people are just paying random retainers and they don't calculate or know how to do it. I'd love for you to talk a little bit about like how you decide what kind of incentives to give to the creators in terms of retainers or campaigns and things like that, and also what a brand, how do they actually attract creators and retain them? Because you said engagement is like a really big metric. Like, how does the brand actually do that? Because you guys probably mastered that.
Okay, so first incentives. I would say retainers are very easy incentives, but also a very expensive one if you do it wrong. So I see brands paying retainers to random creators. I see them paying very high retainers, which sometimes makes sense, sometimes don't make sense. But I think it's really a skill you have to develop. Either do it by yourself or do it with partners. So I think that's two things. I think one, for sure, don't do it like nowadays. I know you guys are building it. There's some other, like have some tool that helps you. That's one for sure. You can have also like building a relationship with creators yourself. It's doable, but it's more work. So you can also work with partners like us, like other ones that already have relationship with creators that make your life easier, that know what are the best practices, that can. I think this is one thing that's always in every industry with every agency type of work. Yes, you outsource it, but the benefit from outsourcing is that agency has done the same thing for maybe 30 different brands, and they can use all that knowledge to also push to your brand. So there is a more benefit than only the outsourcing, also the knowledge gap that's being closed. And you can learn from it, and then afterwards maybe do it yourself, or just kind of discuss with the partner that you're working with, like, hey, after 3 months, I want to start doing it myself, which generally is fine, like if you have a right partner there. I think that is one thing on the retainers. Be careful, don't pay too much. Understand where your money is going, understand how it's being managed, understand that the creators you're getting are like incremental, not just, oh, we're going to do a retainer for you, but kind of what we're doing is just putting people on a retainer that are already making GMV, or there are some things going on in the market that I think, because it's pretty still up and coming, a lot of brands are kind of in the dark, which I think is something that costs them money. So I think be careful with that and choose the right partner, understand what you're doing. On incentives and stuff, I think you can really do still a lot of gamification. So like the leaderboard, like post 3 videos and the people that do this get this. Like I know you guys have a few of those incentives as well. I think that's something that's cool. However, what I see a lot happening, and this is just a very hard thing, like you can have a very cool incentive, but if you don't have creators close to you, nobody will really care. So you can launch whatever you want to launch. Like I think you have seen it so many times. I've seen so many times. Oh, we're gonna give away a Lamborghini, or we're gonna give away a lot of cool things. Nobody joins because nobody really cares. But if you do it while you already have creators that are excited, then they get more excited and they join in on whatever campaign you're doing, prize campaign, leaderboards, like anything there. So I think you have to be a little bit realistic there and just know, and I think that's something that a lot of brands forget, is know that you're not the only brand and you're not the only brand doing kind of probably the same thing. So you have to find something by which creators think, oh, this brand is, you have to stand out from the crowd. I think that's kind of the short way of saying
Yeah,
it.
I fully agree with you on that. I guess I'm curious, like, how do you recommend a brand to do that? Because they could, one way is by working with a partner like you guys who've done it many times and you know exactly what to do and you can probably help them get set up. But let's say like they just want to do it themselves. I think you mentioned something about like one-on-one relationship building, but like how do you identify the creators to build a relationship with and like what should they do?
So I think the beginning is very hard. Like I think if you're a brand that is not earning anything and you're like really cold start, you need to do either some push with money, or you can build the best relationships ever. But like if you're not any potential for a creator to earn money, like the first thing you have to keep in mind is the creator likes you probably based on how much money potential they see with you, and that is maybe cold, but maybe that's also just how it is. You can build relationships. So I think one thing that I would say if you don't build relationships, you just lose a lot of I think it's more kind of a more of a need, like it's kind of a baseline. You need to build those relationships, otherwise you lose your creators. So I think it's more like you have to do all the other stuff, and if you do well and you're getting your sales and the creators are coming to you to work together, or you're attracting them with some whatever incentive, retainers, whatever you're doing, then it's the skill to retain them for a longer time. So you work together with them to grow further, together with them to build new products, together with them to build out new bundles and things to kind of keep pushing it. I would say how you build those relationships, you said it in the beginning, be personal, be a real human, connect with them outside of just seeing them as a marketing machine. I think that is something that's very important. It also makes them come back later. So for example, I've talked a lot with Kaylee on this, but I think once you build those relationships and people really like you, creators talk. Creators have communities, creators have friends, creators. If you do something bad, everybody knows. If you do something good, also everybody knows. Maybe they don't come directly, but I think long term, if you see TikTok Shop as a long term thing, building a good relationship has a very long lasting effect on your business. So I would say how you build the relationships, be very personal, how you attract them. Either in the beginning, it's probably a money push. You cannot really do a lot more because you don't have any metrics to show for. Once you get your first traction, then you can start doing some campaigns and stuff. But still, the most important thing is that they have a potential with you to make money. So your product needs to be selling well. You need to have good prices. You need to spend your GMV max. You need to do all of that. There's no magic potion on, I do this one thing and now I'm going to do like 5 million GMV. Every big brand that's now on TikTok Shop has their shit like really together and really knows what they're doing. They have a big operation. They don't just spray around. Like once in 4 or 5 months, there's one brand that just pops up, does a few million, then also comes down very quickly. I would say that's kind of a summary there.
Yeah, one more thing on that. I heard from, I think it was Hudson from Comfort. Founder of Comfort. One method that he employs is he hires creators that are like good on TikTok Shop on a salary, and he has them go and recruit other creators to their creator community. Like, what do you guys do that? What do you think about that strategy?
I mean, that's kind of our way how we grew, but that's just a referral strategy. So indeed, like if you have people that like you and your brand, you can get them to come in. I would say, again, numbers don't really matter. It's more about quality, right? So if they can do something where they can get a very high quality creator to now start with you guys, that's great. But it's more, you don't need a lot of creators. I would say yes, the masses come eventually if you do well, but most brands have a relationship with probably like 15 to 30 good creators, and those drive the baseline. And from there, like once every few weeks, there's somebody else that pops up, and then they build those also in that group of relationships, and then they kind of keep going from there. So yeah, it could work. I mean, that's how we grew kind of as well. I think you can always give it a try. If you have somebody that's very big in the space that can get people in, it's more they all have friends, so they can always attract new friends to your brand.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Last question I have on the retainer before I want to talk about SoCo as well, because I know you guys have been developing that. We've been talking about it a lot, and it's like the new launch just happened. So, but before I get into that, so the retainer piece, how many good videos can an affiliate make? Like, let's say there's an affiliate that is known to make good content. You're paying them, because I always hear 30 videos for a month, like 30 videos, 30 days, right? But then I've seen that in practice, some affiliates will just post like the same video over and over again. It's just like slightly different. So like realistically, like how many good videos can one affiliate make per month on a retainer basis, given that you need to make like thousands of videos per month for a brand to go viral?
Sure. No, so that's the thing. Like into creators, there goes a lot. So I mean, there are creators that can make 30 videos that are high quality that would be worth it. We always try to stay a little bit lower. So we always stay around 5 to 15 because we just hear from creators, right? Like after an X amount of videos, you start redoing the same thing and just kind of collecting the money. And I think that's for us something that we really try to avoid if we talk about retainers, is that you get creators that just collect the money, because it's not beneficial for anybody, for the brands, for the agency, for the creators. Eventually there's no benefit in it at all. So what you want to create is a relationship in which the creator really sees it as an opportunity to, yes, they get paid for the long-term kind of connection and that they know the upfront kind of benefit that there is, but they still really want to make the money on the commission, and they see the potential there because of the GMV max, because of how you treat them, because of the briefing you give them, and because of the previous work you've done with them. So I mean, I think that is also why you have to still kind of have the relationship with the creator as well and know, or you have to just cycle through a lot of creators, and that's kind of a model we've been testing now more and more. You start with a batch of creators you think that are doing well, and we kind of internally rate creators as well, but you start with a batch, and then after a month, you kind of see, okay, which creators really performed or did their best and have a high potential, keep them, that's usually like 30-40%. The other 60-70% you take out, you refresh them. And with that, every month you go up and you have a bigger batch of creators that are doing very well, by which over a few months' time, like the brand can kind of build out that core group of high quality creators that they can work with, that they can count on to make videos. I think that is the model eventually that everybody should work towards. You can do it yourself, you can work together, but I think that is a sustainable model that you can build on as a brand. And the thing here is as well with retainers, a lot of brands also come and they say like, yeah, I want to do whatever, 20K in retainers, and they have very high expectations, but they're fully new. And as a new brand on TikTok, there's a lot of things you have to kind of check off. It's not like, oh, I'm going to spend, now I'm going to make money. Your product, your pricing, there's so many kind of things that go into it to make it the perfect mix to sell well, that's the beginning phase where you spend on, to test what is my product that I want to sell, what is my pricing, what is my bundle, what is my connection, like how do I really do this to make it interesting. And that's, nobody knows exactly from the first day what's going to be their top product. I think that's a very interesting, like a lot of big brands, they try and they have their hero SKU on Amazon, they try to sell it, it doesn't work. And they have like some other products that are like maybe decent, maybe they have potential, and one there completely blows up, which is always an interesting thing to see. So I think brands should also see that as a kind of testing strategy too.
Got it. Yeah. I think to your point though, like building that creator community and then doing that batch testing is a very interesting strategy. I think that it makes a lot of sense. And then once they're in, to your point, once they're in the creator community, you see what's working, you give like example videos and kind of help train them up on what else they can do and try. And I think that's where what you guys have built with SoCo kind of comes in, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. With SoCo, it's like a creator app tool where they can create an account, log in, and see a bunch of information that helps them make better content, right? Can you talk a little bit more about SoCo? Because I know you've been like developing that. You recently launched it. Let's like tell us a little bit about like how creators can use that and how maybe brands can use that.
So I think over the last year, like I said, we really understood the creator workflow and where they could benefit and where they were kind of maybe missing out, or where their life could become easier. I think what we want to build with SoCo is kind of a creator buddy, eventually also with AI, that just helps the creator's life get way easier. So they do their same thing, but they really focus on content and not all the things around it. And the content pieces they make have a way higher hit rate than before. And a hit rate meaning they go viral or they hit X amount of views. Now, like we said, creators are the shotgunning. They see a product go viral somewhere, they see somebody having a good video, which could even be 3 months ago, see it on their timeline and think, oh, let me make a video for that. And they just make a random video for it, and they do that like 30 times a day. Where some creators kind of get the hang of, okay, what is a good hook? That's what we teach before. Like, okay, hook, script, like how can you do things? But then product selection and virality, like understanding viral concepts is something that, we were kind of teaching it on the go, but we didn't put it into a full kind of, and we understood we can put it into kind of a full tool for them. So we had an app where we kind of showed them the viral videos, but not like now. So how we do it right now is we have 3 main things and more is being added. But one is the product marketplace, where creators go to find products that are currently going viral in their niche or that are like picking up traction. So not just viral like, oh, most units sold, because that doesn't always mean viral. Because there's a product that, there's a lot of examples that are always selling well, and there's thousands of creators trying to sell them, but nobody can kind of get in between because, it's always kind of already being said. There's a few creators that know how to do it. They have a very close relationship with the brand. They have higher commissions. They have GMV. You don't really come in between there that easy. Then you have products that are just picking up because they're like a very good viral product for that moment. So we check that and then we kind of show that to the creator based on the category of the kind of thing they're in. So they can be in home, they can just kind of click the home and they only see the home products. They can be in health, the same thing, beauty, whatever. That's one. And then brands can kind of buy spots in there to have more visibilities also for creators, which is working quite well now. Then you have the viral videos, which is a daily kind of list of the videos that are going viral right now. So what you see here is really understanding the concepts that are taking off right now, that are proving to get sales in the current week, day even. So you're not behind on concepts, because what on TikTok happens a lot, and we've all seen it in the last 1.5 years, there are certain concepts that start working. So a certain hook, a certain structure of video with the health products, it was popping the balloons, and then you had something else. Like there's always something going viral. This enables you to be one of the first ones to see that and to act on it, compared to, you're scrolling on your TikTok and once in 10 videos you see a TikTok shop video and you don't know where it's from. It's not always a viral video, and we make it very easy for a creator to only see the viral videos. They even have a scroll feature like TikTok's, exactly the same, so they can just only scroll TikTok shop videos to see. And then you have the kind of the way how we connect you with brands. So we have a system in which we can connect you to kind of brand deals we have and ways how you can kind of work with them. That's also being built out more and more. So brands can kind of, probably gamify more. And we, of course, also talked about it quite a bit, but that there's just benefits for brand to connect with our creators. We're now at like 5,000 creators that are having an account on the app, but there will be more. And then we will build more and more solutions for brands to come in and kind of pick and choose and work with those creators in a certain way. But that's not on full TikTok shop, only on that batch of creators in certain kind of places on the app. So that's how we build it out right now, which is something that we just know it is already working. With the knowledge we had, it was kind of a proven concept. And then, from here, we just make it more and more personalized. So the creator in the morning can just get a message like, hey, we know you're this type of creator. We know you're in this niche. We know you have been selling these products well. We know your kind of videos. So these are products that you can kind of start promoting, work with them here, kind of use these type of scripts and kind of work in that way. And then some gamification and stuff as well.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, that sounds super useful. Is this free or is it also like a paid thing for the creators to use?
Yeah, so we have a free and a paid. So a lot of the basic features, all the features have a free, and then there's a 30-day free trial, and then they have like a paid thing as well to see all the data and to get all the access.
Interesting. So, I've talked to a good amount of creators. Like, we don't work with creators that directly, but, I've been to a few of these events like YFCon that we were at in LA. I think like creators have previously used tools like Fastmoss or Calidata to go look at like top products or videos. This is like another option for that. That's like more curated for creators, because I think Fastmoss and Calidata, for example, is just kind of like a lot of data that's just kind of like thrown at the wall, and like I could go there as a brand, I could go there as a tech partner, I could go there as a creator. Like, is that kind of around the same vein?
Yeah, kind of. So that's the baseline of it. So the data analysis part, we try to make it for creators very easy, very straightforward. But then of course we're going to add a lot of personalization, like really for the creator level. But indeed, like those tools do it on a level, but you have to be pretty data analytical to kind of understand. And we just put it in the face, put it on the app, put it very easy in front of them. And then more and more personalization will also come. And we connect with their TikTok account, so we know kind of who they are, what they do, and then the more actions they do, we kind of understand better and better what type of person they are too.
I see. It's pretty interesting that you're building all these tools to train and work with creators essentially, because we talked to the head of the UK TikTok shop recently, and just talked to a lot of people that work at TikTok shop, and it seems that the biggest bottleneck from the TikTok shop standpoint is the fact that there's not that many very good creators for all the brands that are on the platform, right? So I'm curious, like, obviously I just said that, so maybe it's a little more biased now, but what do you think is the biggest bottleneck of TikTok shop growth?
Yeah, I think it's the two together. Like I think if I look at how brands and creators are working together, I think it's more there. I think it's in the yes, it is maybe the more better creators you have, of course, the better it goes. But I think there's a lot of things being lost in what we were talking about. The shotgun approach, creators just working with everybody, doing whatever. Brands, same thing. Brands just going. They don't really know, and I think there you guys exactly take the other road, more of the brands to streamline their process, because up till now, still a lot of brands and creators, they're working together very chaotically. I think if that is being solved and it's way more streamlined, way more smooth, way more being done with kind of a understanding, okay, this is the plan, and understanding of content, understanding of what's working right now, and working with that data better, with less videos, you can have more videos that perform well, less creators you have to work with every second on a creator level, you can, or on a brand level, you can work with smaller amount of creators but way more closely, and you have to nurture them, of course, you need to kind of manage them well. But I think that is where it needs to go, and I think that is something that we do it on the creator side, you guys do it on the brand side, so it is being built. But I think also for the creators and the brands themselves, that is something that needs to be solved. And TikTok, I don't think they will be able to do it, because I also, when I talk always with them, it's a pretty clear thing. Like when I was doing e-commerce, I never took, and the same way why, for example, the social army did better than the TikTok Academy, for example, right? Like if you want to learn something on a platform, like for example, for me, when I started learning Facebook ads, yes, I quickly scrolled to the Facebook ad course thing, but you're gonna go to courses of guys that have spent 50 million or that have made so much money, or YouTube videos of those guys, and I think that is something that we are the guys that understand the platform on a deep level. You from the brand side, we from the creator side, and we build tools that really work for them. Where TikTok tries to do it, but they're never as close as we would be, because they're the platform. And the platform, like a creator would never talk to the platform the same as to us who are more friends. Or brands would never talk exactly the same to the platform as they would to you with their pain points, because they want to keep them friendly or whatever that it is. Like, I think that is something and TikTok has their own incentives, and we also have our own incentives. So I think we need to make money on our customer. TikTok, yes, the brands are their customer, yes, the creators are their customers, but they make money on them spending ads, for example. Or they make money on, yes, they need creators doing well, so they give them incentives and they set it up in a certain way. But as long as the creators produce videos, it's kind of, for TikTok, it's kind of fine. So yeah, I don't know. Their incentives are different than ours, by which I think we built more curated for the customer than the TikTok exactly does that.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think really the biggest gap I see when I talk to people that work for a TikTok shop directly is that they're not in the trenches with the creators or with the brands as much as we are on a day-to-day basis. It's very interesting you brought up that point. Maybe some of them are. I think there are some TikTok shop employees that truly are talking to brands and creators a lot. But maybe it is that dynamic of, you work at TikTok shop, I don't want to piss you off by giving you my honest feedback, right? I want you to be nice to me and be happy. So they don't tell them the exact feedback that they tell you and me. Like, I'm sure the creators are telling you like a lot of stuff, and you're like, oh shoot, that's kind of crazy. And same for us on the brand side. Like all the time, brands are complaining about everything related to the seller center and the affiliate center, but I doubt they're telling it to TikTok directly.
True. No, and I think there's for sure I've talked to a lot of TikTok people that really understand certain specific pain points because they work in that niche, but then they don't understand the overarching thing, and then they have to go higher up, and it is just hard. And you and I also growing a team, we've also grown a team. Once you start growing a team, you also start understanding TikTok is a big business, so it is harder to get something to move forward. If they want to do something on the seller center and it impacts the partner center, and that impacts the brands, and that impacts the creators, and there's so many things attached to it. It is just a harder system to change up. Where, for example, what we are building, it's way easier to change it to whatever is needed for the market. So I think that is also a thing. I don't think anybody is It's just the way of business. I think when you're having a bigger business or like a smaller business, it's just also the speed of moving and everything.
Yeah, 100%. I off that point, I do have a question for you then, specifically from our conversation, what you've seen in the industry and being in TikTok Shop for the past couple of years. What is your one or two pieces of advice for brands or agencies to scale on TikTok Shop in general? It could be a cold start brand, it could be a mid-market enterprise.
I think what I've seen till now is, especially in a longer time frame, is one, see it as a longer term thing. So don't see it as, okay, I'm gonna start, I'm gonna make money. Yes, a lot of people do it and some people don't, but see it really as something that you're gonna invest in to understand. And once you get to a certain point, probably like 6 months in or 9 months in, you start understanding it. Still, every 3 months, a lot changes. Keep that in mind. So you have a baseline understanding of what the platform is, how it works, but every 3 months, there are cycles where almost the whole kind of strategy changes, or like 6 months sometimes, and you have to be able to adapt on it. So I think, and that's generally, I think the whole business world that's changing now so quickly with AI and it's just all changing so quickly, and you have to stay on top of it. I would say stay in the trenches, otherwise you're going to lose grip of what is going on. There are certain base systems that you can build that will probably last longer, but some certain strategies you have to always keep changing. And I think this is the long-term thing. Like, I think it is very hard to see, even for me, and especially last year with, okay, the ban is coming, and it's all felt like very short-term. But if you look at the bigger industry, like, okay, Europe, it's now launched in Germany, it's now live for a little bit, it starts to perform. Where I'm from, Netherlands, it's not live yet. I was in South America, a lot of countries there, it's not live yet. It is mainly TikTok now. eBay is coming, Twitch is coming, there's some other ones coming, whatnot is really growing quickly. Like, it's very, very early, and probably in the next 5 years, there's a lot, like so much going to change, so much going to grow, that you don't have to hurry, I would say. I think understanding it is more important than making money right now. Yes, making money is, of course, important for a business in general, but there's more to it. So I would say don't rush it and don't expect to make crazy money. But if you start understanding it, it can be a very big driver of your business.
Yeah, what do you think is the long term of social commerce as a whole, like TikTok Shop being, I guess, like the first forerunner that's really pushing social commerce forward in the US and the UK and what do you see social commerce transforming into, maybe TikTok Shop specifically, maybe actually you mentioned a couple other platforms like whatnot, in the next like 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 years?
So I have there's a few different variables that play a very big part here, right? So one is the AI and creator side of it. Like, what will happen there? How much will AI take of the kind of creator economy? I think a lot of big platforms will eventually kind of have to cut on AI quite a bit. Like, I was yesterday on Twitter and I saw a video of a cruise ship crashing into a bridge, the bridge collapsing. And it was like, big news, Norway bridge collapsed after a few. And I was looking at it and I was like, I always in the back of my mind, I kind of think, okay, this is AI. That's now my general way of thinking is, if I see a video that's like a little bit crazy, I'm like, okay, this is AI. And probably in like 2-3 months, every video that you see, the first thought, and I saw the Jake Paul fight, I saw like a video where he started crying on the ground. Like, I'm like, okay, everybody will start thinking every video they see is AI first, which will make social media very boring. Because if that is really the case, why would you watch a video of a bridge collapsing with a cruise? Like, I don't care. If it's real, okay, that's interesting. And then why would I watch a video of Jake Paul crying on the ground if it didn't happen? Like, I don't care. Like, okay, if he gets hit and then he breaks his jaw, okay, that's a cool shot. But then if he starts crying on the ground, that's fake. What can you believe and what not? Like, now you can still know it. And if you think clearly, I think you, like, I would say my parents and my grandparents would never see it. I can still see it. I would say in 3 months we cannot see it anymore. So then there has something has to happen, otherwise it gets boring. So I kind of would bet on that if I had to place a bet right now. Social media platforms will take away AI quite a bit. There will be a human verification, whatever. So creators will still stay. I think there will be way more closer partnerships between brands and creators, like way more close, longer term, few months partnerships, smaller amount of creators working with a bigger brand in that type of way. I think a lot more big brands will come to it. I think a lot of the big other platforms will kind of start utilizing it in some way because they kind of have to. It just makes sense. So, and then live streaming. I don't know, live streaming. Like, I think it will be big, but it has been like up, down, up, down, up, down. More people are starting to talk about it now, but GMV is not like crazy up. So I mean, the Alex Hormozy live showed a lot when he started selling his books. Like, it showed quite a bit on, okay, it has a lot of different settings, the live streaming. For us, the Live Academy and the live streaming we're doing I think like 8 or 10 million a month with our creators. It's still a lot, but I will see where it goes. I think eventually it can become very big. It just needs to kind of get his, how do you say, it needs to find their place inside of the whole commerce ecosystem. Yeah, and I think way more sales will go through it. I think there's still a lot of people kind of hesitant. A lot of countries, it's just starting. I think a lot of platforms still are yet to come. I think more brands are yet to come. So I think it's still very, very early. If I look, I think it's 5 years and then it starts kind of capping out a little bit. I think the next 5 years will only grow for brands, for agencies, for creators. If you keep innovating, because that's the thing, and I think that's the thing in every new business right now. If you don't innovate, and if you don't innovate quick, you will be left behind. And I think on TikTok Shop, you see it way quicker because your results are just attached to that in like a shorter time frame. So that's kind of my 25 cents, 2 cents.
5 cents. that was like a 25 cents, maybe like a dime. No, I love the take on everything. I mean, yeah, live streaming, AI content. I honestly, I have a lot. Like, we do a whole nother session on like AI content versus like human content over time. I have a lot of opinions on that as well. I've talked to these like AI bot farm guys, that are just like pumping out AI content, but we don't have time. We only have 3 minutes left. So
what is your thought? 2 cents? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
my 25 cents is like my $1 is it is that AI content is going to be heavily regulated, because I have the exact same feeling that you have, man. And I think a lot of people, like, I posted a video on my TikTok of a Waymo. Waymo, it's like self-driving car.
Yeah.
Self-driving car here in the Bay Area in San Francisco. I posted a video of a Waymo that was stuck on a curb, and so many people, it went viral. So many people commented on it. It's my first viral video, so it's pretty cool. They were like, oh, like, we hate AI, like AI sucks. Like, everybody just like hates AI, and everybody I talk to, like my dad, my friends, my family, everybody's just like getting negative feelings towards AI. So
yeah,
it's very interesting. Like, it's very helpful in business practice, but in terms of like the mass market and people in general, I'm seeing this like hatred for AI for some reason. And it might be because of what you said. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a lot of regulation for sure. I wanted to ask you, what is like one quick piece of advice you have for other founders that are starting businesses, having being a business founder yourself? Like, if there's any kind of like secret, magic potion type of advice you have, one thing.
I mean, every year in business, I feel like I've learned so much. I'm like, oh my god, I've learned so much. Now I know what to do. And then this year again, like, I think the biggest learning this year, which is something that, like, I'm pretty stubborn. I would like little bit. I just need to learn by experience. That's my thing. So this year, I think the biggest learning I had is just with people, hiring the right people, not hiring too quick, like all the basic stuff, which I thought I was doing, but now I really figured it kind of out. I was just hiring people too easily, and then hiring someone and having to fire them afterwards is a very big expense. Actually, it feels like, oh, I need to hire someone quick. Okay, we'll hire, and then they do something for like 3 months, which is just not, either they're not the right fit for the business or the business is not the right fit for them. Whatever it is, doesn't really matter. It doesn't fit, so it's not the right fit, and then you fire them. Then you're like 4 months in, you spend money, you spend time, you spend energy, and then you're at kind of stage 0 again. I think that is, for me, something I've learned so much, and maybe filling positions too quickly. Like, now you can do more and more yourself with AI coming up, so you don't really need that many people. So I think for me that has been a very big learning, where I kind of knew, but I still made the mistakes. I think everybody has to go through it. I have had teams before, but I don't know why now it really kind of came out. So that is, I think, the biggest one for me. Is there anything else that's very important? Yeah, I mean, just have fun. Like, for me, it's like this year as well. Like, with you, with all the other people, like, I'm just genuinely having fun. Where before, when I was in business, it's always was like kind of on the edge, and it's very like, I'm still fucking competitive. Like, every time there's a leaderboard, I'm like, fuck. Like, the first, like, I would say, when we started being an agency, after like 3 months, we were number 1 for like almost a year. Then we kind of dropped down a little bit because we were focusing on like building some other things out, and now we're kind of climbing again. And I'm very competitive there, but still, it's not in a negative way. Where I think before there was always like something negative. Oh, they're doing this, and oh, fuck them. Like, it's really negative energy. So for me, that's not a big thing. Just have fun. Yeah, if somebody is like, if it is not a fit or if they hate you or whatever, like it's fine. But just like put good energy out there, and I think it comes back. So I think that's another big one. Those two things.
I agree with everything, 100%. Like hiring has been huge for us, like making sure it's the right person and spending a ton of time. Now I understand why tech companies like Meta and Google have like 7 hiring rounds or interviewing rounds, right? Just to really like understand people.
They spend $100 million on like a bounty.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're doing that on a much smaller scale, right? Yeah, thank you, Jasper. I have to, I think we're over time. Thank you for coming to the podcast and giving us all your insights. This was Zero Sum Game. Again, everybody check out Social Army if you're on TikTok Shop. If you're a creator, if you're a brand, check out SoCo if you're a creator, maybe even if you're a brand, who knows, you might get some insights there. Check out Social Army. They're one of our good partners and friends. And then again, you can find them at socialarmy.io, right? Is that correct? Yeah. Socialarmy.io. And then you can find us at reacherapp.com for all your TikTok Shop brand and creator needs. So thank you all for tuning in, and that's it.